Hi, this is Rick Cooper, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration on a technique for British Hessian netting that you often see on their World War II vehicles, and so we'll go from there. First thing I want to say is that I've laid out the tools and the equipment that I use. You can see the different pieces here. This is actually Tamiya tape that I have laid down on just a cheap piece of glass from a 99-cent store, discount store. And then I have painted this in several different colors from, actually mostly from, I guess they're all Vallejo different colors. A couple of primers and a cork brown and a US medium green. And then this one I haven't painted at all, just so you can see that it really is just Tamiya tape. And then here I've taken a little bit of water and some white glue, mixed it together, and you can see what I've got laid out here. And this is really all the tools that I use, other than maybe a toothpick here or there, a couple of pairs of tweezers, the corner square, and then just a piece of camouflage netting that you can get from a lot of different model manufacturers. I prefer to use the stuff that has been made specifically for scale modeling. You can get the gauze from a discount store or your pharmacy, but it tends to be just a little bit too fibery. If you can get cheesecloth works well too. I just happen to use this because I've got several packages of it at home in my drawer. The first thing that you want to do is you want to be able to, for the net to dry in a way that is going to look natural on the vehicle. So that is why we have the white glue and water solution. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to wad the net up, and then I'm just going to stuff it into the water and glue solution until it's soaked all the way through. And then I'm going to stop the video here in just a moment, and I'll take this out and use an old napkin and wick most of the solution away, just so that it stays nice and wet. And then I'm going to put it on a piece of foam core board and stretch it out so that I can work with it and add the strips of material, or the strips of cloth that'll actually make it Hessian netting. Okay, so hold on just a moment. Take it out. I've already wicked away most of the moisture, but what you're going to find is that the gauze or camouflage material tends to bunch and roll up a bit. Oh, excuse me. Tends to bunch and roll up a bit. Just be patient as you're pulling it apart, and if you're careful with what you're doing, you won't tear it apart, and you can actually get it spread back out, and it doesn't take but a minute or two. But when it does come out of the glue solution, it will tend to kind of bunch up, and you'll have to, like I said, wick it. You want to wick it out with a napkin. Here's the leftovers of the napkin that I used to kind of wick all the moisture away, and then just very carefully spread your camouflage netting back out again so that you can work with it. Okay? Okay, here is the netting. It's laid out on a piece of foam core board, and the only thing special that I've done here, you can see obviously there's some thumbtacks that are holding it in, is that once I tack it down, I do take a pair of tweezers and just kind of very carefully try and lift the net up proud of the foam core board. I find it makes it easier to get in through the netting with the pieces of tape that'll turn into the fabric strapping on there. So that's why I've done that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the tape that I've got. You can see that some of the tape has some marks on it, and that is because I've done some scale measurement there, and some of these are 2 feet and some of these are 4 feet. The ones that are 4 feet, I'm not really going to leave as a 4-foot strip of material. It's just so that I can weave it through and then fold it over, so I end up with a 2-foot strip of material. And then the 2-foot strips of material obviously are ones that I can just lay right on top strategically onto the netting once I put it onto the vehicle. Okay, a lot of this netting I've already taken an X-Acto blade, and I have just sliced it up. I haven't used anything other than the Mark I eyeball as far as how thick or how wide the pieces of netting should be. So, you know, if you want to be a little bit more precise than I am, you can certainly do that. So I just lift it off, and it's just going to give you a nice tiny little piece of tape. And then let me take this, and then I'm just going to take it and kind of carefully work it in there. And you could do it either way. Actually, my preferred way to do this is to kind of work it in this way. I don't know if you can see that, but the sticky side is up. And then I'll just go ahead and hold that there and kind of slowly and carefully work through until I can kind of pull through there. Make sure I don't get too much of the netting. Kind of lost what I had there. Of course, you're trying to catch this now all in one take, and that's when things don't go quite like you want them to, right? All right, you can see the netting there. I've added already the first piece of the Hessian material there. Sorry you didn't get to see that, but that was a technological problem on my part, but I think we're back here and ready to go. So what I've got is I've pulled off a longer piece, one of the scale, anyway, 4-foot pieces, and I'm going to just take that and very carefully work on weaving that through. Grab it from the other side. Make sure I've got it like I want without too much of anything else. There we go. And now I'm just going to pull it through, take it, fold it over. I push down a little bit on it, and now I've got the piece of Hessian netting there. And now I'll go ahead and grab another one. And these are the shorter pieces. The shorter pieces, I don't try and weave all the way through, just try and weave just a tiny bit through there, just enough to be able to grab with the tape. And as long as I can do that and capture a bit of the netting as well, it usually works out okay. And again, these should be really random, kind of all over the place. And I'm not going to, you can see how easy this is. You can just kind of, you weave these through, literally, that's all you're doing. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the video. I'm going to weave several through because you don't really need to watch me weave each one of them through. Again, simple process. Whoops, never cut that one. But even if it's, and again, there's no, I don't know that there's a right or wrong. I've never seen any kind of reference that says that the Hessian material was all, 18 inches or 300 centimeters or anything like that. So I don't think you can be right or wrong on these things. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and weave through several more of these and then show you what it looks like when you put it onto an actual vehicle and how you can work with it there. Okay, so let me go ahead and stop the video, add a few more pieces of the netting or the strapping material there, Hessian netting, I guess, whatever that's. I'm not sure exactly what the material pieces are called, but I'll weave them through and then I'll show you what it looks like when you add it onto a vehicle and how easy that is. Okay?